Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. We are back with a very quick and easy, technically no cook meal. It is called hot and sour noodle salad. Here's what we need. We should be able to serve 4. Come on in and I'll show you the ingredients. So ingredients are as follows. 350 grams of dried rice vermicelli noodles. These come in a 200 gram packet, so you will have 50 grams left over. And since they're so easy and versatile to use, I've kept the 50 grams aside and I'm just going to chuck some veggies through it at a later date. So that's what that looks like. 4 tablespoons of sesame oil. 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. I'm just using this one today. Juice of 2 limes. 1 teaspoon of sugar. Now, with any recipe, unless it specifies, if it says sugar, it will always be white sugar. So that's in there. 4 spring onions, finely sliced. We call them shallots. That's what they look like. Oh, they smell too. They're good though. 1 to 2 teaspoons of hot chili sauce. Now, this is a hot one that I brought from where I work. And we're going to increase the heat by going with 2 teaspoons. 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh coriander. That's the one that I put in the freezer a while ago. It has been chopped up. It's just melting. All right, so it's really straightforward. Follow your directions on the back of your noodles, which for mine, it just quite simply says place into cool or warm water for 2 minutes and then drain. Now, I boiled the kettle a while ago to make myself a tea. Tricked you, I was going to have a coffee, but I had a tea. So I'm just going to pop the rest of that in with that. So it won't be boiling hot, but it won't be super cold. Then we're going to pop our timer on for 2 minutes and then we're going to drain them and then we're nearly ready to go. So this is why these noodles are really good. I am going to need more water, so I'm just going to fill them up with hot water from the tap. I was supposed to start this a lot earlier today, but being my sort of technically one day off, I had a sleep in. Then I had another eye specialist appointment. I've done some running around, got home, thought I'd have a 1 hour nap. 3 hours later, I'm awake. And here I am. So I sort of don't really need this for dinner, but I do want it for lunch tomorrow. So just make sure that it's submerged. Pop them on for 2 minutes. And I'll see you soon. Okay, well, that's pretty much 2 minutes up. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop them through the colander. But to me, I feel like they're not done. They still feel really... Oh, they're softening. They are softening. They're just, I think they just want a little bit longer. That's why it's good to put a timer on. Maybe have the water a little bit hotter. Yeah, no, they're softening. Beautiful. Alrighty. They're going to pop these through the colander now and then straight back into this bowl because this is the bowl we're going to mix them in. Ah. Alright. I'll be ready to pop them back in here in a moment. Don't really want water in with them. Alright. There we go. So that's what they look like. So just get a spoon to toss them with. I just like to, when I'm using the noodles, I like to use this pasta spoon. Thing with these noodles is they always seem to stick together, obviously. Alright. Anyway, we'll smash them as we go. Okay, that can go. Toodaloo rubbish. Okay, so all we need to put into here, toss with half the oil, which is our sesame oil, which is of course 4 tablespoons. So we want 2 tablespoons to go in with this one. So 1, I love the smell of sesame oil. 2. Into the jug, we want to pop the rest of the oil, which is the other 2 tablespoons. I've used glass because it's easier to clean. 1, 2. The rest of the things can go in here as well now. So that's 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. There was no point in doing this because it's all going in the one jug. The only time I do things like this is if they're going separate places. It's really just extra washing up otherwise. Juice of 2 limes. We'll just, before we do that, just get a little whisk or a fork and just give it a stir. And goes the juice of 2 limes. Sometimes with things that are oily, I don't like to use the plastic jug. I like the glass. Easier to clean as well. 1 teaspoon of sugar. Well, I can't really get the spring onions into here, so I'm going to toss those through at the very end. But we can definitely get this chili sauce in. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, 1 to 2 teaspoons. That's on you. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons because we need a little bit of a boost. This sauce is so thick. I might just have to shake it up a little bit. It is from Italy. I thought it was made in Italy. No mucking around with this one. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think we're going to have to coax it out with a knife. Look at that. It wants to come out. Or sometimes the wrong end of a teaspoon. Here we go. Oh, wow. Look at us go now. Whoops. That would be our 1.5 teaspoons. This is going to last me a very long time if it doesn't want to come out of the bottle, right? All right. 1/2 teaspoon went in earlier, so there we go. If you only cook every so often, I've sort of learnt now, try and get good quality ingredients. It tastes so much better. Where some of the ingredients you get in some of the supermarkets, you might pay a bit more for them, but sometimes it's worth it to go for them or get it from delis or fruit shops or whatever that actually do stock stuff from overseas that's better quality. All right. For a lot of stuff like this, if you've got an Asian grocery store, I miss where I used to work. There used to be one there. You can definitely go and grab stuff from there. All right. Now they're starting to look a bit more cooked, if that makes sense. Yum. All right. So before I toss the sauce through, I'm going to toss this through. This is obviously called shallots, thank you. Forgotten how to English today. All right, so they're in there. I'm just going to give them a little bit of a toss. This is why it's good to use a bigger bowl and drizzle the sauce over the top. Yum. Just get a little spoon and just scoop the sugar out. So the sugar and the lime juice is sort of what gives it that sweet and sour vibe. Look at that. Yum. And we've got that beautiful colour going into our white noodles now. They're not white anymore. Delicious. Pop your coriander in. And then you are ready to serve. I'm not measuring this out. This is just whatever is in this packet because it's been in the freezer for a couple of months. It's fine. So what I do, as I probably have mentioned in many previous episodes, if I buy a bunch, I will cut it up, and then for things like this, normally I'd put fresh in this one, but I'm going with this just because I brought a bunch last week. I will chop it up so that it's basically ready for the next recipe. Now, my theory is that if you're going to be putting it in something that you're going to cook, the leaf is going to wilt anyway, so why waste your money on buying a fresh bunch every time if it's just literally going to wilt into the recipe anyway? So the coriander looks like literally nothing, but you'll get that little bit of a coriander hit here and there as you go. All right. Thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been hot and sour noodle salad. Catch you on the next one. Bye.